If you're looking for the fastest way to create a shooter character like this one you can see right here, then congratulations, I've got you covered. In this tutorial, I'll walk you through creating a shooter character equipped with a weapon, animations, sound effects, bullet with projectile movement component, a UI, and impact decals that can interact with actors in the world. If you're excited, then let's get started. And we need some free assets. That's why I have choose this Paragon Bleka. So this is a character. This is for free. I mean, like permanently free. And there are some characters like you can see right here with the weapon. And this looks kind of good. So that's why I'm going to use this character, and you can add it to the project. So all you need is to search for this Paragon Bleka, and then you can add this to that project. Like there's many more other Paragon assets that you can use in your project, but I'm gonna use this one. So you can just click and add to project, and then you can find your project. Here is ours, and there we go. I just need to add it to the project like this, and then you have to wait a little bit, like it's almost 2 GB, like 1.8. Then after downloading it and adding to the project, I'll be back. After waiting some time, now it's done, and I can just close the Epic Games. And if I come here, we have the Bleka in here. And if I come here to the character, here we have the heroes. And if I come to the Bleka here, you can see we have this LT Bleka player character, and this is a blueprint class. So if I open this one, this is based on character class. And if I come here, you can see we have the character in here and everything is just fine, but we have some errors. If I come here, you can see there are like these kind of errors, which means that we are using the old method, which is not good. Like if you don't know what I mean by old method, if I come here to this project settings, and if I come here to the input, here we have those input things, like they're using the old input method because it's an old project of Epic Games. So that's why it says that axis and action mappings are now deprecated. Please use enhanced input actions and input mapping context. So as I told you at the beginning of the lecture, while we were talking about the input of the car, we're using enhanced input now. So we don't need to use this old method anymore. So that's why here you can see we have this turn rate, here we have look up rate, and here we have input axis turn and look up, and this is for jump. So there are some of the things that we have in here. We actually need to remove them, and here we have this error. It says that reset orientation and rotation. So this is for VR, and we can just simply remove this, the whole thing. If I compile now, the error is gone, but we have only those warnings, and the warnings are exactly for why do we use these things. So that's why for jumping, I'll just remove this, and I'll simply search for spacebar like this, and here we have spacebar. So when it's pressed, we want to jump. When it's released, then we want to stop jumping. And then if I compile, one error is less now. And for look up and down, we have this input system for our blueprints. Here for vehicle, here we have this input system. I just want to use the same one, or you can just add another input mapping context and things, but it's fine that we can reuse the same thing, so it's not a big issue. So I'll just come here, and for turn we want to use mouse X and Y, so that we have, if I come here to IA and here I search, you can see we have this look around. So this look around we can use for both of them because we have the X and Y axis. I'll just split these two. Now you can see we have the X axis and we have the Y axis as well. So I'll just connect this one right here and connect this one right here. I'll just remove these two, and then I can come here and let's just make it correct. I'll just remove this, and we can use an easy method. I'll just bring and tell him break this thing. So I'll just can break this vector to D, and then for the X, I'll come here and tell him add controller input, and we can just simply add this. And then for Y, let's bring this a little down. For Y, I'll tell him add controller pitch input like this, and we can multiply this by -1. So I'll just multiply it by -1 like this, and there we go. That's all we need. And so then I can come here and disable this inherit role like this. So this is what we don't need. I'll just remove this, and this we already have fixed the jump problem. So I'll just compile again and see we have 2 more problems. I'll come here, and this is for add movement input. So this is for like going forward. So I'll come here and search for IA, and we have throttle. So we can use a throttle in here because throttle is exactly for the same thing that we're doing, like moving backward and forward. And then one more thing here, we have move right. I will use this IA steering in here. So you can create other input mapping context. That's also a good idea. But now, as you can see, we don't want to work like repetitive things again and again. That's why I'll just use the same things. But still, this will not work because, as you can understand here, we have done something like in begin play function. With begin play, we just use this mapping context. So I'll come in here, and when we have the begin play, I think we don't have it, so I'll come here and search for event begin play like this. And when we have begin play, I'll just get controller, and then from controller I'll cast to player controller like this. And if the cast is succeeded, I'll get enhanced input like this. And if the enhanced input is valid, then we will add mapping context. So I'll come here and tell him add mapping context like this. So we can use this with begin play function, or we can use exactly the same thing we have done there, because we would be possessing different vehicle and character at runtime. That's why we can just not use it in begin play event. So that's why I'll just come here again, and I'll copy this whole thing when possessed. I'll just copy this one, and I can paste it right here. I'll compile. We will have some errors like you can see right here. This vehicle component, well, this is for handbrake, so I don't need any handbrake thing. And this is mapping context. We have this vehicle mapping context. This needs to be a variable, or create a variable from that. And then I can choose this mapping context, the vehicle one. Well, this is not a good idea, but still, now we have it. And then we have this events and this vehicle moving component. This is for handbrake. We don't need that one. And then everything is all right, I think. So I'll just bring this one a little this side. And then just for now, we can use this one. So I'll come here and search for just for now like that. And there we go. Now, if we possess this character in the world, we can just do the control thing. So I'll come here, and I will not possess this character. So I'll search for possess. I'll just disable this one, and this is also disabled. Now if I come here, and well, let's find this player character. I'll change this name to like BP Blake player character like that. Then I can come and add this to the world. I can see it's in the world, and then I'll possess this one. So if I play, now you can see this character is good. Now you can see we can look around, and everything is just working fine. And we were looking, the character is looking at there and moving that way like that, which is kind of great. So if I come here to the character as well, right here, and then I'll come down here, we can find the pawn settings. So here's the physics, collision, or I can search here simple for pawn. And here you can see we have use controller rotation pitch. Yeah, we need to enable this one. And then if I just compile and save everything, now you can see well, it's not actually working. What's wrong with this? And then I'll tell him use controller rotation as well. And then if I compile and save every time, now you can see character is actually rotating anyway we're looking, because we need this, like we need the character to look at what we are shooting. First we need some sound effects, and then we already have some particles, but with this Leica we don't have any sound effects. That's why when you come to tools, and here you have this folder called sounds, you can open this one, and here you have this rifle. You can just copy this whole folder, or including these sounds you can just copy, or maybe you just copy this rifle, because in future maybe I'll add some more sounds, so that's why you just need to copy this rifle for now. And then you can come back here and right click on Leica and tell him to show in Explorer. Then this will open this folder where it is located. Then you can just paste it right here. When you paste it, you can come back, and then when you come here, let's see if there is that rifle. You can see right here the rifle is now right here, and then you can open this sound effects. Now you can see these cues are not working for some reason. They are not working. I'll just remove all of them because we'll make our own. Now you can see there is these effects, which is, you can see right here. So these are the sounds we're gonna use. And then if I come here to the cues, I'll right click and come to audio, and then we can create this new sound cue, and then I'll give it like sound cue. Maybe rifle, we can name it that, but I don't think this is a rifle weapon. But now we have the rifle sound, so that's why we can just use that one. And then I'll open this one, then I can come here to the cues and select multiple sounds. Okay, so I think we can select these three because they're a little similar. So this, I'll just bring them here, and then I can select random here, and then I'll select random from any of these, like this or this, or I'll add one more random from these three, and then I can connect it right here. Now if I play, they're totally random. So we have random sounds. Now I can close this one. And then here we can come back to this Leica. I'll open the Leica character, and then if I come here to Leica animation blueprint, here you can see we have the animation blueprint. I'll open animation blueprint, and here you can see we have this locomotion, and we have this run, jog, idle. And if I come back here, you can see we have a lot of different things here in animation graph as well. A lot of things going on in here. So here we have this locomotion. Here if I come back to event graph, and there are a lot of things going on here in event graph as well. So the thing we need to change is to come here this to montage play, and if I come here, we have, you can see we have multiple montages right here. So those are the montages we use, like this fire montage, we have jump, and many more montages we have. So the one we need is this fire montage. So if I come here, you can see this is the fire montage right here. So I'll just come here, and while we just start shooting, I think in this list, this is what the main thing happens. Or let's see, I think, yeah, we can play it right here, maybe somewhere. So in notifies, you can right click and add notify. Here you can see we have play sound. I'll play sound, and then I'll select any sound we have. So I'll search for a sound cue. We have just created this rifle, so now you can see we have that, and I can add another truck, notify truck, and here I'll add and tell him play particle effect. So if I come here, and now you can see we have a lot of particle effects, all of them with these things, you know, like this Leica. So you can just find some fire, or we don't have with fire, so maybe muzzle. So you can see we have this Leica muzzle. I'll just select that one, and then if I come down here, we should have something that's called, if I come here, you can see we have this attached. We want to attach it to a bone, so here we should have this muzzle. You can see right here, this is muzzle, not that one. If I come down, this is the one, I think, not this one, right hand. So I'll search for muzzle, that way it's easier to find. It is If I come and select the location, so I think this is the one, because the others are too far, or maybe this is, I think, the main one. So if I come back and I'll just bring this a little this side and a little up like this. Now you can see that is the muzzle flash we have right there, and that just happens like that. So I'll just come here and then I'll attach that to muzzle stationary 2 or 1. 2 is down there, so we want to attach it to this one right here. So now you can see now, so this is like not for a single shot, this is like for multiple shots at the same time. So let's find out if we have some muzzle for single shot. I'll come right here, and if I click on this one, I can see this is one. This is not actually for one shot, this is for one shot. So it's called Leica head corrector. This is for hitting corrector actually. So do we have, so I'll just come here to particles and search for muzzle. So here we should have some muzzle things. If I come, I think that this is Tesla muzzle. There is nothing good with it, but this one should be good. So if I come here, we need to change these to 1. So if I select this one and come to burst list, then I'll just delete these 2, and same I'll do for this one. We just need to delete 2 of them because we want one shot every time we just press the key. And then I'll remove these, and I'll remove this one as well. It's 2 actually. So now you can see, and finally now it's fine. Shell eject, it's 3. So let's just have one shell eject as well. Now you can see we have one shot. Then I can compile and save. I'll close all of them, and then if I come this time, now you can see well, actually what happened in here, where is the sound effects? Somehow we don't have the sound effects. So I'll come back and simply I can add the sound effects. So I'll just come here, add notify, and play sound. So we just want to play the sound that C is for rifle. That's our sound. And then I can add another truck, and that truck I can add this play particle effect. And then I'll select this particle effect. I'll search for muzzle, and we can select this muzzle, and here we can search for muzzle, and we can use this stationary. So now if I come and select this stationary, and that's in the right location or not, I'll just bring it a little this side and a little up. So now if I play, but why don't we have sound? If I come here to the sounds, and we just need to connect this one right in there. Now if I come here, and this time I'll save everything and play. So now you can see and that just looks pretty good. If I come here and check for everything, I think everything is all right, and we should be able to shoot. So I'll just come here and play this time. Now you can see she just takes the weapon when we play the game, and now she can just shoot. And I think we don't have any bullet or something, but the good thing is we can shoot. So one more thing, I just want to change the camera a little bit. So I'll come back to Leica character, then I'll just bring the I'll just want to bring this a little up. Well, I said a little, not too much, so I'll just bring this like this, and a little this side. Then I'll just rotate the camera a little bit maybe. So now if I play, and we'll see, now you can see that's a much better view, and we can just do the shooting things. But the problem here is we don't have any bullets or thing. We can shoot, the sound effects is there, the bullets is there, but we want 2 things. First, we want to just spawn some bullets or thing like and the second thing is we just want a rapid fire. So I'll just come back here in here event grab. So here if I come down, and this is responsible for this shooting thing. So when we press, we want to check if this is an attack mode and things, and then we have this combat save, and then here we have like attack count, and then attack count 0, and we just play this fire, and that's all. So in play rate, everything just looks good, but we just want some like fast firing, not like that, like we just play one and then it will shoot, and then we have to wait like pressing multiple times and it will shoot. It's not what we want. So I'll just bring this a little this side, and I'll just disconnect this one. You can remove the code, or if you want you can have it. All I need is to take this and play any montage, and then I'll take it right in here, and then I'll paste it right here. So when we press when we just press the mouse key, I just want to add set timer. So we just want to set timer by event, and then we just can bring create a custom event. So I'll just add a custom event and call it shoot like this. Then I can just connect this one right in here, well, like this. Then I'll bring this one down here. So we want to do the shoot event like this, and then I want to loop just every 0.2. This is like shooting rate, like 0.2 seconds, like in 1 second we are doing multiple fires. So I'll just add this to local variable, and then I'll call it a shooting timer like this. So this is a shooting timer, and then when it's paused, I'll get the shooting timer from here. Then I can come here and tell him pause timer by handle like this, and then I can pause. Like when we press, we just want to do this, and we just want to shoot and things, and we want to save this timer, and anytime we just want to stop it, we can stop it like this. And then if I compile and save everything, I'll just play the game, and you can see now we just don't shoot by pressing it. We need to shoot like when we hold the left mouse key, we're shooting, and it's shooting up, and it's shooting too fast. So if I come back here, and I would just change this to like 0.1, and this time if I come here, and now you can see it's shooting much faster like this. But now the problem is, with a single click you won't be able to shoot. With a single click you will just don't have anything, because it should need like for 0.1 second to shoot. So that's why I'll just copy this and paste it right here. So first time when we do this thing, you know, like when we press, then we want to shoot first, and then we want to go and continue. And then if I compile and save everything this time, and then if I come here now, with single click we'll have single shot, that if we hold it for long enough it will continue shooting like this, which is like what we want. So now we have sound effect, now we have particle effect, you can see right here, and that's good, but we don't have any bullets or things, which is not good. So I'll come back, and if I come here to the blueprints, I'll right click and create, I'll call this weapon, and then I can open this one and create a blueprint class that would be based on actor. I can call it BP bullet like this, and then I will open this one as well. If I come here, I'll just add a sphere in here, not in sphere actually. I'll remove this back, and now if I come here, I'll add cylinder. I'll search for, we have the cylinder in here, I'll just add this one, and then I can just oh, not the name of the cylinder, I'll just bring it like this. Then I can rotate it 90 degrees to face X axis. So if I come here, now you can see, no, it's actually, yeah, it's actually facing X axis. Then I'll just bring it a little this side, so it should start in here, and then I just need to make it a little smaller like this, and then I'll bring it a little more this side. Now I can just change its size like this, so you know, like this should look like a bullet. Now if I come here and click in here, I can just copy and paste this material. I'll just duplicate this one, and then I can open this one, and I'll change this bring here to emissive color, and then I can change this to red color. So red one like this, and then I can multiply this. So I'll add a multiply in here. Let's search for multiply, and now you can see we will bring this multiply in here. I'll remove the roughness, and then now you can see I'll just multiply this by something like 20, so we have more emissive color. So what this is doing, this emissive color, this makes it the bullet like a light. So that's what we want, like bullets are actually like lights. Now if I come here and then I'll select this one, and I can apply the material in here actually. So now you can see we have this, and if I come here and add this to the world, this blueprint weapon, this bullet, now you can see it's like a light, and you can see the size is really huge. So I'll just come here and change the size a little bit. We don't want that huge, so I'll come here, change this to 0.1, not 2.1, I meant 0.1, like this. Then yeah, it shouldn't be that huge like this. Now if I come and compile everything, let's check it in the world, and now you can see it's much better, because like this would be traveling too fast, so that's why it should at least be visible. Now then I can just compile and save everything. I'll come back in here, and we need to add capsule component as well. So I'll search for capsule component, that would be for collision, and I'll bring it up in here. Then I can rotate this one minus 90 degrees, so like this. Then I can change this, the size of the capsule component, and bring it like this. I can see this is capsule component. I can just make it a little smaller, because you know, like collision, if it would be smaller like this much, that's enough. Now you can see I can compile and save, and if I come to cylinder, I just don't want cylinder to have any collision, so I'll just make it no collision, and this should overlap all. So I'll come here, and in collision, where is the collision of this? Here we have, and this overlap all dynamics. That's what actually we want. Now I can compile, and then I can come here to the component and search for projectile movement component. So here we have projectile movement, and I can add this one. So this is there by default. In Unreal Engine you can just add it to any actor, but mostly we should add this to the projectile. If I come here, we can change the initial speed to something, you just want a really higher value, so I'll just change it to 8,000, and max speed 8,000, and rotation follows velocity. Actually I don't want it, so this or maybe that's a good idea. So we want to enable this rotation follows velocity, and the projectile gravity scale, I'll just make it 0.5, so it should not be too heavy. Now if I come here and play the game, well, it's not doing anything actually, because we need to spawn this. I'll come back to the character movement component, and in here this is play anime montage. This doesn't have like those. If I come here to the montage and add you know, like these notifies, you can see I can add another truck and add another this notify as well. This will not be called in there, so I'll call this notify like fire, but it's not doing it like this. We cannot find that notify in here, because the problem with this play anime montage is that it's not calling the notify. So that's why I'll remove this one, and then this time I'll come here and search for play anime montage. You can see right here, this one, we should select this one. Then I can bring and connect it in here. Anime montage would be like that fire montage, so I can apply it like this because we selected that before. Now after doing this, I can come here and tell him and notify begin. So I'll just switch So switch any, because we have multiple notifiers in here. You can see right here, if I come here, we have multiple notifiers: save attack, reset combo, and many more things. But the thing we have is this fire. That's what we need. So that's why I'll come here and tell him notify begin, not this one. So while notify begin, we want to switch in names, and then I can add, we don't need a default one, I just need the fire. So when the fire happens, then I'll tell him spawn actor from class. So which one? I'll search for BP bullet, like this one. Here you have bullet. I'll select that one, and this needs the transform. So from the mesh component of the character, I'll tell him get socket transform, like this. Which socket? If I come here in here, like, we should find the skeletal mesh. If I come to the skeletal mesh, actually, if I come to the skeletal mesh, and then I'll come here and find like any, I'll select for fire, like this. So you can see we have this, we need to find that fire one, or we can just come to this montage, and in montage we can find. So if I come here, this is like this particle effect is attached to this socket name. So I'll just get this socket name, and then I can paste it in here. This will give us the transform. Here we have transform. I'll just split this one and split this one as well. This is rotation and location, scale is 1, that's all right. And then I can come here and tell him spawn always, ignore collision, like this, because we just want to spawn it always, and that's all we need. So if I come here now and compile, so if I come and play now, it seems like it's not spawning. Let's find out what's the problem. If I come here, we have this fire, and that's all right. Let's come back to the character. Here we have like unnotified begin, and it is fire. And let's go to the bullet. I'll open the bullet. I think because of the huge size we have right here, so that's why I'll just make the size a little smaller. Let's just change the size of the cube and the capsule component, like this. I'll just change the size to 2 for the cube, like in Z, and capsule component I'll change its size as well, like this. Well, actually we just don't need to change the size, we should just change this value like this, and that would be all right. Now if I compile, and let's add the bullet to the world, that we can see it is huge or not. That's the size is not too bad now, but it is too far away from the center of the world. So that's why I'll just bring this a little backward, like this. Now let's bring it so it should start like this. Now you can see I'll compile and save everything. The thing is, while we're spawning an actor at runtime, it should be here like in this outliner. So if I play the game and if I shoot sometimes, if I come back and search for this BP bullet, you can see we don't have that. It means it's not spawned. So the problem is somehow it's not playing this montage. So I'll come back in here and check what's wrong. If I come here, you can see in skeletal mesh we're not choosing any mesh for that. That seems to be the problem. So I'll come back and bring the mesh in here, and I'll just connect it right in here. Now you can see I think everything would be fine. So let's compile and save this time, and if I come here and play, now you can see we have the bullets, but still it seems like the first time we shoot it's not spawning anything, because the first time we are playing this anime montage, not calling this shoot. So that's the problem. I'll just remove this one, and instead I'll call this shoot event, like this, and now everything's gonna be fine. If I come and compile everything, and if I come and just shoot many times, you can see it is actually spawning the bullets. And if I come here and search for bullet, you can see we have them right in here, like many of them. And if I shoot more, you can see we have more of them. So if I come back and check, you can see we have like there are more bullets in there. So this is how we can have the bullets, and we have fixed the problem, which was really important. There is this thing, you can see we're just shooting we don't have controller over shooting. So if I come and try to shoot in this car, I'm not able, because the bullet is spawning at the location of this socket right here, and this socket rotation is straight. It's exactly not straight. If you want to make it straight, because this socket also has this problem, you have to make this 0, this one 0, and this one 90 degrees. So now this socket is facing forward. This will fix a little bit of our problem, but it is not the solution. Now you can see you're just shooting forward, but this is not the exact solution that we want. That's why I'll come here, and we don't want to use this rotation, because this rotation is the rotation of this socket, and that is exactly the same forward rotation, and this does not change with the character movement. So that's why we don't want to use that rotation. We want to create our own rotation. So to do so, I'll tell him get controller. So we will get the controller, and then if I come here, I can check it if it is valid or not. That's a good idea to check it, but as we are in the character class and we are sure the character will have controllers, so that's why we don't need to check it. And then I'll come here and tell him get player view. So we point here, we have this, and you can see player has the location and the rotation. So using this location, we can find the forward rotation at where player looking at. So if the player is looking at the car, then this will give us the location of the car, and that way we can find the rotation. That bullet should look at the car as well, so that's why the bullet will go straight to the car. That's what I'll come here, and then from the rotation I'll get forward vector, and then I can multiply this vector by any value. So I'll just multiply it by some value. The value should be float, so that's why I'll just add another float variable. That would be like bullet distance, like that. This is not the exact distance, but just we want to find the rotation distance. And then I can give it a value like a big value around 2000, and then I'll multiply this vector by 2000, this value. Then I can add these two locations. So we have these two vectors. I'll add location vector with the rotation forward vector like this, and now you can see we have this one right here. And the last thing we need is to find look at. So if I come here we have this find look at rotation. This needs the start location and the target location. So I'll get the start location from the socket location like this, and the target location is right here, like where the player is looking at. Then from the rotation we find the forward vector, and then we multiply it by distance, and then we add it back to the location. That way we can find that rotation, and this rotation we can use right here with the bullet. And if I come back to the bullet actor and open this one here in projectile movement, I can just change the projectile gravity to something like 0. So that's why gravity will not affect the bullet. So I'll show you what does that mean. If I come and shoot now, you can see if I look up, we are shooting up, and if I look down, we're not shooting at anything. That's the problem with the camera boom. So I'll just change its location to something like 250. I'll just make it a little smaller, and this is good to be a 100 value, and I'll change this to something like 50. So now I think that would be good one. If I come here now, we have what we want. And you can see I can shoot it whatever place I want. I can shoot up, I can shoot down, and everything is just fine. Everything is looking fine. And what does this mean? Like this gravity, you can see right here projectile gravity scale. If I change this to a higher value, let's say 5, so now the bullet has like gravity has a higher effect on bullet. If I go shoot up, the bullet comes down at some place back. That will affect our target as well. So that's why, like at the place we are looking, it will not shoot exactly at that place. But as you can see, this is a machine gun, and that has like a small bullet, so that's why gravity will not affect that bullet too much. So I'll just make it 0 for now, that we just want the exact location bullet to go to the exact location where we want to shoot. So now if I come here and wherever I shoot, bullet will go straight there. Now you can see bullets are just going, like gravity is not affecting bullets, which is a good idea in this case. So now it's time to create UI. I'll come here to content drawer, and in blueprints I'll create a new folder that is called UI, and in here I'll create another one that we can call weapons. And then if I come here, this is for tools, so I can import some of the tools from here. If you come here to the tools folder, here you have this AMPNG. You can open this AMPNG, and if you open here, we have this thing. And if I come here, I can change this to UI in here. Let's come right here. Here you can see we have this texture group, and this one I can change this one to UI, and then I'll save. I'll come back, and this time I can create a new class in here. That would be based on widget blueprint. I can select this user widget, and then I'll name it WBP widget blueprint for weapon like this. And then I can open this one, and here I'll search for canvas panel. I can add canvas panel like this, and then I will add image. You can see right here. It should be at center, and the location should be like, okay, the X size is the hand rate, so that's why this should be -50 to be at the center, and the Y size is 40. You can see right here. I can just change this one to like -20. Now you can see the image is at center, but it's not the correct location and size. I have to change it. I'll come here and select the image we have imported. That's for weapon UI, this one. I'll bring this one right here. Now you can see I can change the size of this like this. So I'll just make it 100 by 100, and then I can change this one to -50 as well. Now you can see it's at center, and we have this one. So the first thing, I'll just come here and add that to the UI. So I'll come to character class, and in event graph, when we play the game here in begin play, I'll just create widget like this, and I'll select this one WBP weapon, and then I can add this to viewport like this. Add to viewport. So there we go. Now we can do that. If I come here and play, now you can see we have that, and now we can understand where are we shooting at. We have the aim and target, but as you can see, the size of this is too huge. I'll just change this to something like 50 by 50. So now this is a smaller size, and I'll change this one to -25 by -25 like this. Now that would be at the center. And if I come here, I can just change its transparency a little bit as well. If I come here to color and opacity, here we have this alpha value. I'll change this to like 0.5. So this is now much better. Now you can see we can shoot at where we are looking, which is great because that's what we want. Like now we can understand where are we shooting at. So if I want to shoot at this car, I can just shoot like this. And the second thing is we want to have an aim mode. If I left click, then I just want to zoom in a little bit. That way it would be much better. If I come to the character class, and in character class I'll come down here. So now you can see I just need to comment this code because this is for shooting. I'll just select all of them, then I can bring it this side, and I'll write weapon shoot like this, and I'll give a darker color like this, and this should be visible. Now you can see we have a weapon shoot in here, and I just want to have weapon I just want to have aiming system as well. So I'll right click and search for mouse key. So mouse key, middle mouse button, no, left, middle, right. In this case we're searching for the right one. Here you have not for debugging, but this time I just want right mouse button like this, not debugging one. Now if I come here, when we press it, I just want to change from following camera. I'll change the field of view, set field of view of camera. So the default field of view of camera is 90, but when we just like right click, I'll just change this one to something like maybe 60. And when we release it back, I'll set this again. So this time we will just set it back to 90 because that is the default value. So I'll just come here and set this one back to 90. Now if I compile and save everything and come here, and this time if I left click on right mouse, now you can see we just zoom, and that's what we want. Like if you want to zoom it more, you can just come here and change this value from 60 to something like 40 maybe. Now we will have, like, we can zoom it more. Now you can see we can just zoom and just shoot at whatever we want, which is kind of great. So now you can see we have this, we can zoom, we can aim, and we can shoot at a target location. So the last thing I want to do is to comment this right here. I'll just add a comment and tell him aim, or maybe camera aim, like this, and I'll give the same dark color in here, and then this should be visible. Now you can see we have this as well. And now as you can see, we want to talk about how we do something really important. If I shoot the car, we should have like some those damaged things in the car, and we want to destroy the bullets, because if I shoot in there, the bullet is just going and it's not getting destroyed. So it's not a good idea, because at some point in the game we might have thousands of bullets, because like if we don't destroy bullets, it would be there and it would be going forward and forward, which is not a good idea. So that's why I'll come here to the bullet, and inside a bullet I'll select this capsule component, and I'll tell a capsule component and component begin overlap. So if it's anything except if the other actor is not equal to self, so I'll just get a reference to self like this. So if the other actor is not self, then we want to destroy the actor. Now if I shoot something, we'll be destroying this actor. So simply we can write destroy actor like this. If I play the game this time, if we shoot something, the bullet will destroy itself, so we won't have bullets. But if I shoot in there, still there is nothing in there and it'd be going. So that's why I'll come here. If that's not the case, if it doesn't hit anything, then after begin play, I just want to delay for let's say delay for 5 seconds or maybe 3 seconds. So if in 3 seconds it doesn't hit anything, we want to destroy the actor. So that's why every bullet will destroy itself after 3 seconds. So we just don't need to check it, because after 3 seconds it will destroy itself. If it hits something, it will destroy itself. So that's a good idea. But when it hits something like wall, floor, car, anything, we don't see any effect. It just destroys itself, which is we want to do something. So that's why I'll come here before we destroy. I'll just come here and I'll play sound. So let's play not to G, I'll play sound at location. So I'll play sound at location. At which location? At the location which the current actor is. So I'll get actor location like this, and then I'll give this one right there, and then I'll search for impact sound. So I'll search impact sound. These are the sounds we imported. It's impact body. Well, no, this impact surface is a good, so I'll select one of these. So you can just come into here to blueprints and create a new folder. I'll call this one sounds, and then I'll create I'll just find all these impact sounds. So I'll come here and find where are these sounds. I'll just select any of them for now, and then if I come here, you can see these sounds are here. So I'll select this, I'll select these, and then I can just bring it to the sounds like this, and then I'll move it there, or maybe copy. So I'll create this one, impact. So well, that's not correct, impact like this, and then I'll just bring them in here, move it there, and I can select all of them and create single cue from them, sound cue, impact like this, and then I can bring and select random. That's the correct one. So I'll just compile and save everything, and then here I can select impact like this, or maybe I can search for sound cue, and here we have this impact. So now if I compile and save everything, now when we hit something, we have the impact sound as well. Now you can see if I go close, but as you can see, those places are too far and we don't have any sounds from there, or those are not actually actors, so that's why we don't have any sound from there. It only applies sound when it hits an actor, as you can see right here. When we hit an actor, it plays sound. With the ground, it doesn't play sound, and actually with the ground we don't want to play any sound, so that's why we have the sound now. And then the next thing, I just want to play a particle effect, so I'll come here and tell him spawn particle effect as well. So I'll search for spawn particle, spawn emitter attached. So we want to attach it somewhere. First we want to spawn emitter at location, so I'll search for spawn emitter at location. So now you can see we have the location and rotation and everything. So here I'll come here and search for impact like this. You can see we have this impact, Tesla impact like that. This comes with this character class, so that's all right. And then I can come and from this get actor location, I'll get the location, and I'll get actor rotation like this, and we want like the opposite location. So I'll just multiply this by -1. Like this, and here, well, the other things are just fine. Now if I compile and save, if I come here, now you can see if I shoot, now you can see we just play that sound like that particle effect in there. So as you can see, that is the size is really huge. So I'll just change the size to my point like 0.2, 0.2 at all of them. Now if I apply and save, if I come and shoot, now you can see we just have that. We just spawn that emitter or particle at the location we hit, but it will not spawn that at places like walls and things. It will only spawn the particle effect when it hits any actor, and that's exactly what we want. We just want to spawn at the place when we just want to spawn it at the place where actors are there. So this is how it works. If I come here, you can see we only have this one particle effect for now. That's why we just use this one. But at the Epic Games Marketplace, you can find some better effects as well that you can use. And the last thing we want to do is to spawn decals as well. So spawning decals is one of the most important part of this. So that's why I'll come here into blueprints, and in weapons I'll create a new folder. I'll call this one decals like that. And then if I come here and import, so if from tools here you can see this 4 bullet shot hole PNG image. You can import this PNG image from the tools that you have downloaded, or you can import any PNG image which doesn't have any background. The background is empty. From anywhere you can just find it which is PNG. You can import it and right click on this, and then you can come here to sprite actions and tell him apply paper to D texture settings like that, and then this will just make it texture to D. Then you can right click on this and tell him create material. I will tell him decals or material decal, because this is a single one. And then I can open this one, then here I'll select this one. I can come here I'll change this one to deferred decal and change this one to translucent like this, and from this alpha I'll connect this one to opacity. Now you can see this is we don't see anything actually. So that's all we need. I'll just apply and save this one. and then I can come back to the bullet in here, and after spawning this at location, I'll come here and tell him, if I come and search, you can see we have this decal component here. We have a spawn decal at location, and we just want to spawn which decal. If I come here and search for decal like this, I'll select this material and the decal material we've created, and decal size, we can have a random size for this. I'll just tell him like a random integer. So I'll find the random integer and then I'll multiply that in here. So I can have like this doesn't have the minimum value, so I'll tell him a random integer in range. So now if I come here, I'll select from 3 to 9, maybe like that, and then location, I'll get actor location like this, and for the rotation I'll get actor rotation as well. And then we have the live spam in here. I'll just select like 10 seconds. So for 10 seconds we want to be there, and then after that we don't need it, we just want it to destroy itself. So now if I come here and play this time, and if I shoot at the car, now it seems like we just don't have that in here. So if I come here to the decals in here, and if I just bring the decal on the ground, you can see the decal is actually working, like it looks good on the ground. But if I bring it near to the car, it's not affecting the car. The reason for that is if I came to the car blueprint class, and here if I search for decal in class defaults, here you can see static meshes receive decal and skeletal mesh receive decal. These are the two things we made like a couple of lectures ago. So now we can enable this, and if I compile and come here, now you can see the decal is actually affecting the car. So now you can see it is affecting the car. That's what we want. So I'll come here, and then I can just remove this decal from now. So this way it means we're enabling the decal. But the second thing is we're just spawning the decal at a location, like this spawns the decal component. We want to spawn decal actor, so we don't have any actor. I'll come here to the decals and right click blueprint, and then I'll search for decal like that. And then here you can see we have decal actor. I'll search, now I'll give it a name like BP bullet decal like that. So now if I come here and open this one, and I'll just simply add that decal we've created in here. Now you can see we have added that. If I come back and add this to the world, this actor, now you can see we have this decal, but its size is really huge. I'll just and Z, I'll make it like 0.04, and Y, I'll just make it 0.03, and an X, we can rotate that because this should face us. So I'll just rotate it 90 degrees. Now you can see I can just bring it up, and if I press G, now you can see that looks good on the car. Look at this, this looks just great. So I'll just remove this decal, and then I can come in here and I can remove this. I can remove this size as well. I can remove this actor location and rotation as well. I'll just come here and then I'll tell him spawn actor. We just want to spawn actor from class, and we have this BP decal actor. Well, where is that BP decal? What do we call it? So if I come here, what's the name of that? BP bullet decals. I'll come here and search for BP bullet decal, this one. Then it says collision handling override. I'll tell him always spawn. Then for transform, I'll just split this one, and from capsule component I'll get world location. I'll get the world location of this, and then I can apply it in here. And what about the rotation? Well, I'll get the rotation of the capsule component as well. So I'll just tell him get world rotation like this, and then I can apply this one in here. And the scale we made, the correct scale was like 0.04 and 0.03, and X we'll leave it as 1 because maybe sometimes it will spawn it far away, or we can just make it a little small like 0.08, so it shouldn't be that big. Now you can see we are spawning this, and first let's just try this. So if I come here and shoot at the car, you can see we're shooting, but it doesn't seem like we spawned anything. But if I come here and search for actors, did we spawn any new actor? BP decal, bullet decal, you can see we have spawned that, but the problem is it is spawned but a little bit that side, like a little bit before the car. If I bring this forward, now you can see this is there, which is kind of great. But as you can understand, we have this problem, and the problem is the bullet will destroy when this capsule component collides with anything. So when capsule component collides, it collides in here. So at that time we spawn the decal in the center location, so that's why it is a little far away. And that's why I'll just make this capsule component a little smaller, and not its size actually. I'll just change its capsule half height. I'll just make it like let's just make it 4 or 5, or maybe just 9, or maybe a little higher value like this much, 15. I can see we just see this. So now when you spawn, it will be close to the car. If I come here and shoot this time, sometimes we see that and sometimes we don't. Shoot many times, we see some of them and we don't all of them. We don't see all of them. That is because of like the size and X. If we give like a little higher size and X, then we can see all of them. So I'll just close this one, and then I'll come back here and an X. I'll just change this one to 0.1, and hopefully this time we will see all of them. So if I shoot, but still it seems like we don't see all of them. I'll just change the size a little more, so I can close this one because we won't need that anymore. I'll just change the size to like 1, so that we will have a higher size. And now you can see we just see all of them. It's not the only one. If I shoot at that car as well, you can see we see that decal on that car as well, which is kind of great. And we see all of them. We don't spawn decal on the glasses. Well, that's all right, because we will be destroying the glasses. You can see that actually goes inside the vehicle. So if you can see right there, if I shoot in there, it just goes inside the car, and that's all right. So now you can see we're just spawning these decals in the car, and that looks great. So I'll just come here, and now you can see it's pretty good. And then I can come here and destroy the actor. So we can destroy the actor, but there is one problem. The first thing is we'll be spawning a lot of these decals from the vehicle, and we will not destroy any of them. They can be there for like as long as the game is open. You can just if you want, I just don't want these decals to be destroyed. If you want to destroy them, you can just come here, and then after begin play, like after you spawn them, you can just delay for time, like maybe you want to delay for 2 seconds, and then you can destroy actor like this. So after spawning these decals, 2 seconds, they will be destroyed. So you can see you can spawn them like this, and you just wait for 2 seconds, and they will be like destroying back, which is a good idea. Sometimes you can just spawn them, and you can just destroy them back, like this, because you don't want, like you can see right here, they're just destroying from here as well, like we don't have them anymore, which is a good idea because of game performance. And the second problem is this: if I come here, for now we are not able to drive the car, but in future we'll be driving the car. I'll just stop destroying these anymore because I don't want to destroy them. So if in future when we drive the car as well, if I just shoot the car, like now you can see the car has these decals and that, but if I in future drive the car and the car moves, the decals doesn't move with it, because the decals are actually spawned in that location and it's not moving with the car. So to fix this problem, before destroying the bullet actor, you can come here and tell him attach actor to actor, like this. So attach actor to actor, and which actor do you want to attach? This actor. And where do you want to attach it to? We want to attach it to the parent. So what is the parent? From this other actor, I'll come here and tell him cost to BP vehicle base, like this. If the cost is succeeded, then we want to spawn this. If the cost is filled, then we don't want to do that. So that's why I'll come here and add a sequence before checking this. So I'll add a sequence, or I can just add a sequence right in here. So after we check if it's not self, then I'll just add a sequence. And let's do the sequence. First we want to do that work, and then I'll come here and destroy actor, like this. So this is destroying the actor in any case, so that's why I can just remove the destroy actor from here. We don't need to destroy actor in there anymore. And then I'll just bring this one. If the cost is succeeded, then we want to attach the current actor, like this, a decal actor to that actor we have in there. And there we go. So I'll just bring this one this side, this a little this side. I'll bring this one in here. So then I can just bring this a little down, and this one a little down as well, and this one a little down, and this one. And then I can just bring this right in here. So now you can see we're checking if the cost is successful, then we want to spawn actor and in this place, and then we want to attach the actor to the other actor, like the vehicle base actor. So we should change this location rules to keep to world, and keep world, like that. And then I can compile and save everything. And then if I shoot, you can see we are shooting at the vehicle. And if I just move the vehicle around, you can see those things are just moving with the vehicle. They just rotate with the vehicle like they are in there, which is great, because that's what we want. So in future, when we are driving the car and we shoot at the car, those things will still be there, which is kind of great. So you can see right here, yeah, I can play the game and you can just shoot at the vehicle. So if I come here and check the frame rate, here in show frame rate, you can see it is like around 70. If I play, it's like 120. And if I shoot at the vehicle and see if that affects the frame rate or not, it just affects it a little bit, not too much. If I shoot a lot of them like this, so now we have a lot of them. So as you can see, it doesn't affect the frame rate too much. So that's why it's not a big issue. But still, if you think that this is a frame loss and you don't want this to be there on the vehicle, at some point you just want to destroy this, then you can simply destroy them at the begin play of the bullet decals. So this is how you can spawn the decals and the vehicle with sound effect, with particle effects, which looks great. There is one thing I've noticed, and that is, like, it's not too important, but I think if I shoot at the car, look, you can see right here, the particle effects which are spawned with the weapon that is blue, and the particle effects which are spawned with the vehicle are blue as well, but the color of the bullet is not blue, which doesn't look great because the blue, like we want the bullet to have blue color as well. So I'll come here, you can see this is red, and it's good, like bullets are normally red, but as our particle effects are blue, and it's like kind of science fiction bullet, so that's why I'll just come here and change the color to blue. I'll come open this one, and I'll select and just this blue color like this. Now if I apply and save everything, and if I come here and shoot, now you can see we're just shooting blue bullets, which looks kind of great, like which just match the color of particle effects, but still some part of the particle effects are red. That's all right. So now we can have the color of bullet, like you are free to choose any color you like. You can just choose this blue color, or you can come here and change it to yellow or red, but in my case I want to change this to blue because the two particle effects we have, like the particle effects we're spawning in here and the particle effect we're spawning at the impact place, are blue, so that's why I changed the color to the blue. But still the particle effect of the ejecting bullet parts are yellow, so it's your choice whatever color you choose. I just want to show you how you can change the color of the bullet, as we've created this bullet, so you probably knew from before as well. So that's why I changed it. So there's a slightly problem. If I come here and shoot at the car, you can see we're not hitting the exact place we're trying to hit. So look at the aiming and look at the bullet. Where do we want to hit and where actually it hits? And if I go, like if I look up and shoot, look at that. Like the bullets are crossing, like bullets are not hitting exactly the place we want to hit. So what I think is the problem? So the problem is we're just finding a location 200 units in front of the camera, and we are shooting exactly at that place. So if we're closer than that place, like in this case we're shooting the wrong place, and if we are far away from that 2000 units, still we are hitting the wrong place. Like if you're far away, we are hitting on the right side of the aiming, and if you're close, we are hitting the left side, because that's the wrong calculation. So that's why I'll come back to the character class, and in here I'll just bring this a little this side, and here we want to do some more work. So before spawning the actor, I'll just calculate before doing this as well, like look at the thing. So I just want to do something. So I want to line trace by channel like this, and then the start location is, well, you know, the start location. So I'll take the start location from here to here, and the end location is this location, so I'll just take it from here like that. So now you can see we have the start location and we have the end location. If we hit something, so I'll just break this. So now you can see if we hit something, that will give us the location impact point. So trace start, trace end like that. And then, so in this case we have two cases, if we are hitting something or not. So I'll come here and tell him select based on boolean value, this return boolean. So now you can see start location is always this start location, so there is nothing about the start location. So I'll get the start location from here, and that's always the same start location, but target could be different according to are we hitting something or not. If we are hitting something, then we want is this location or impact point. So if I come here, location of the hit in the world space, if this was a swap ship test, is the location where you can place the ship in the world where it will not be, and this is the location of the actual contact point of the trace ship with the surface of the hit object, equal to location in the case of initial overlap. So I'll just take this impact point in true case if we are hitting something, like return value if that hit is true. If that is false, If the hit is false, then we want to take the trace end location like this, and then we want that to be our target like this. So now you can see if we are hitting something, then we'll take the start location of the mesh, and the target location would be the impact point. If that's not the case, then the target location would be the end of trace, which is kind of got like the old thing. So now if I come here and then if I shoot at what I want, now you can see it seems like still we're not finding the exact thing we want. So if I come here and shoot at this place, so still we have that problem. Let's find out. Let's come here to the character class and find out if we are having the correct so I'll come here and tell him for duration, for some duration like for 5 seconds. We just want to find out if we are actually line tracing or not. So if I come here and play this time, we are line tracing like this, but we're line tracing to the wrong location for some reason. We're not tracing at the place we actually want. So let's come and here we have, if it hits, we will take this one, and yeah, that's correct. There are a lot of things going on, so this will make us confused. So that's why let's clear these wires, and that way it would be much easier for us to understand what's going on. So I'll just bring this one right here. Before this thing, so because this just makes it a lot worse. So I'll just bring this a little this side, and it comes right there. I'll just bring this one down here, and then I can just bring this a little up and add one more point in here. I'll bring that one down, then I can connect it right here, so that way we have it like this is now much better, easier to read, and then I can close all of them. Now this is also easier to understand. And then what else do we have? We have this one. Okay, now things are much clear and we can see what's going on in here. So the first thing is this should go up, because like we can see right here. Well, the problem is here, the start location is the mesh socket transform. So we are actually if I come here and tell him to draw this for duration for 5 seconds like that. Now if I found the problem actually. So if I come and play the game, you can see we are just drawing the trace. I'll just make the duration longer duration, just make this for a longer duration, let's say like 50 seconds, so we can analyze what's going on here. So if I come here and then I will shoot at the car like this. Now if I press F8 to just analyze what's going on, so you can see this actually starts right in here, like in the beginning, like from the socket of the weapon, and it goes directly right there, which is not what we want. We want to draw a debug line or this line trace by channel from the beginning of the camera, right from here, like this thing. So that's why we're doing the wrong calculations. I'll just bring this is the beginning, like the game player view, so that's why I'll get this location and connect this one to the start location like that. And this is not required in here. I'll just remove this one from here, and then I can bring this one right in here and connect it there, because we only need it in there, not in here. So that will fix the problem. Still we have this draw debug type, we have that, and there we go. Now if I compile and save this time, if I come here, and now you can see if I shoot, we're exactly drawing the line from the beginning of the camera player, and then it goes all the way to the straight until it hits something. So if I shoot at the car, this time we will shoot the exact location we want. Look at that. So we are shooting and we are hitting whatever we want, because we start from the player view and directly go and hit anything. But what if I shoot the car far away? Like, look at that. If I shoot, you can see I'm hitting the wrong location. So why is that? Because we start drawing this line trace by channel from the camera view, and we go directly 2000 units, and that ends right there. So if I come back here, you can see when if it doesn't hit anything. In this case, it is not hitting anything because it ends in the ear. So it's not hitting anything, and it's not long enough to reach the car. That's why it doesn't hit anything. This is false. And in false case, we take the end of the trace as our target. So in this case, our target would end right here. So weapon, like the bullet will come to this point, and then it will go straight. So it will not go straight in this line, it will go straight from the weapon, like from the socket of weapon, and it will go directly that. So that's why like the camera view, look at this, the camera view and the weapon socket is a little different. So that's why it is going in the wrong direction. So that's why it will come from here to this location, and it will miss a little bit like that. So this is how, if you want to fix this problem, if you want not to miss any shot, at least in like 10,000 or 15,000 or 50,000 Unreal units, then you can come here and change this value. So if I come here and change this to 20,000, now we won't miss anything like that close. So if I come here and if I shoot at the car, I'll hit exactly the thing or the place I want to hit. So if I go really far away and still if I shoot, I'll hit the exact thing I want. So this is how you can just fix this problem, and you can shoot even if you're really close to the car, still you won't miss a single shot. Look at this, I just shoot all the things and I will not miss a single shot. So now you can see a lot of things going on, and this is all these draw debug spheres. They're just hitting exactly the things or the places we want to hit, and that's kind of great. So if I stop the game this time and tell him we don't want those debug lines anymore, I'll just select none for that, and this time if I play, still we will be able to hit exactly the place we want hit, and we won't have that draw debug line. So look at this, we're exactly hitting that thing or the place we want to hit. Look at that. So this time exactly the same thing we want to hit. So even if I'm closer to the car, I'll just hit the place I like. So that's how you can just shoot in the car, and you can just have the target wherever you want to hit. You want to hit inside the car, you want to hit outside the car, and still everything's gonna work like this. And you can see we have this car, we have shot at him, and that looks just great. So that was a little problem, and we just fixed it. So now we can shoot at but it's not working for everything. Look at this, we're shooting the wall and it will not work on that because we only choose that decals to be applied on these things, you know, only in the cars and in the vehicles. So that's all about this lecture. I hope you have learned some of the important things, and I'll see you in the next one.